what's up, everyone? Let's dive into the whole Bradley Beal situation, because honestly, it's been one of the most talked about stories lately, and it's driving a lot of speculation. We were all told to expect a decision about his next move within 24 to 48 hours, right? But here we are still waiting, and the buzz around him just keeps growing. The latest whispers and reports have been pointing heavily toward the Los Angeles Clippers as his likely landing spot. Suddenly, everything starts making more sense, especially when you look at the moves the Clippers have been making recently. Getting rid of Norman Powell felt like a chess play rather than a simple roster adjustment. Like they might be setting the stage for something bigger, something we didn't know at the time. Now imagine this for a moment. The Clippers lining up a backcourt with Chris Paul and Bradley Beal, combining that with the talent they already have. It's a scary lineup. You'd have James Harden, Kawhi Leonard, John Collins, and Ivica Zubac joining forces. That starting five alone is enough to turn heads. But it doesn't stop there. Even their bench looks stacked with players like Chris Dunn, Nicholas Batum, and Brook Lopez. That kind of depth with 10 or 11 guys ready to step up would make them a seriously tough team to beat. And honestly, that starting lineup screams title contender, at least on paper. From where I stand, the trade involving Norman Powell always seemed to have a financial angle behind it. The Clippers weren't keen on paying Powell the contract he was looking for, and moving him out made room to bring in someone like John Collins, who in my opinion fits their needs better. Collins brings size, athleticism, and the ability to stretch the floor with his shooting, all critical for the Clippers' style. Plus, having a small ball center who can play alongside their stars adds flexibility to their lineup. So if I were in their front office, I definitely prefer Collins over Powell for what they're trying to build. Of course, the big question remains, where does Bradley Beal fit into all this? The original narrative suggested that the Clippers moved Powell because they didn't want to pay him, and that landing Beal would be a bonus, maybe even a consolation prize. That doesn't necessarily mean they orchestrated the Powell trade purely to get Beal, but if it works out that way, it's a win for them. And when you think about it from Beal's perspective, the Clippers actually make a lot of sense as a destination. Even if you're a Lakers fan, I get that it stings to say. See? For Beal, starting with the Lakers is complicated. The Lakers have Austin Reaves, who's expected to be a key player moving forward. It's hard to imagine the Lakers starting Beal ahead of Reaves without some serious lineup adjustments. And playing Beal, Reaves, and LeBron James together as the three main guys feels unrealistic. Someone is likely to come off the bench, and from a team chemistry and financial standpoint, it wouldn't make sense to sideline Reaves after committing to him for the future. So unless the Lakers decide to trade Reaves, which is a big if, Beal's minutes could be limited, and that's not exactly ideal for a player of his caliber. That's why it probably makes more sense for Beal to look at the Clippers, where he could slide right into a starting role and immediately compete for a championship. The choice between coming off the bench with the Lakers or starting with the Clippers fighting for a title is a no-brainer from a purely competitive standpoint. Beal is going to want to play significant minutes and be a key contributor, so this situation puts the Lakers in a tough spot. Now, despite all the chatter about Beal heading to the Clippers, it's interesting to note that nothing has been finalized yet. If Beal truly decided to join the Clippers and the Suns are set to buy him out, why hasn't the deal closed? The rumors have been swirling for days, but no official move has happened. The Clippers could sign him immediately if that's what they wanted. So what's holding things up? One possibility is that Beal is actually waiting on the Lakers. While the Lakers can't currently sign him due to roster and salary cap restrictions, they are reportedly working on a consolidation trade to free up space and clear cap room. Beal might be giving them time to finalize that before committing anywhere else. If that's the case, the delay makes sense. It's less about Beal not wanting to go to the Clippers and more about his preferred destination still being the Lakers. If the Lakers can figure out the financial and roster puzzle, it's important to remember that Beal's preference has long been to play for the Lakers. He wanted to be part of that team well before the Westbrook trade shook things up. So even though the Clippers are a solid landing spot, the Lakers have always been his top choice. The wait could simply be about seeing if the Lakers can make the moves necessary to bring him on board. If the Lakers manage to clear enough salary cap space and open a roster spot, Beal's dream scenario could still come true. On the flip side, if the Lakers can't make it work, the Clippers are ready. and waiting. They have already made their roster moves and appear committed to adding Beal to the mix. So from a basketball perspective, it's a win-win for Beal. Either he goes to the Lakers, fulfilling a long-held wish, or he joins a Clippers squad, built to contend immediately. Another interesting angle is how this impacts the Lakers' future plans. If Beal joins, how does that affect Austin Reaves? Would they try to trade Reaves to clear room? That's a tough call, because Reaves is young, talented, and part of the Lakers' long-term core. Balancing the roster around Beal without alienating Reaves will be a tricky challenge for the front office. From a broader NBA perspective, landing Beal would shift the power dynamics in Los Angeles dramatically. Instead of just the Lakers dominating the headlines, the Clippers could become an even bigger threat in the Western Conference. Pairing Beal's scoring ability with Harden's playmaking and Kawhi's defense could create one of the most balanced and dangerous lineups in the league. So with all this happening, it's no surprise that fans, analysts, and insiders are buzzing. The drama around Beal's decision, the Clippers' moves, and the Lakers' internal juggling act have combined to create a captivating story that will define the NBA offseason. The big takeaway here is patience. Even though we're all eager for news and clear answers, sometimes these decisions take time. Negotiations, salary cap intricacies, and player preferences can create delays. But whenever this saga concludes, it's bound to reshape the landscape of the NBA in a major way. And that's where things stand for now. The Bradley Beal story is far from over, and whether he ends up with the Clippers or the Lakers, the ripple effects will be felt across the league. The next few weeks are going to be crucial, and I'll be keeping a close eye on every development. So as we wait for Bradley Beal to make a final decision, you can't help but feel the weight of every little detail, every move behind the scenes. It's not just about where Beal signs, it's what that decision triggers across the league. This is one of those moments that could send shockwaves from coast to coast. Front offices are watching, rival GMs are recalculating scenarios, and even players on current rosters are checking their phones more than usual. And why? Because adding a guy like Beal, a legitimate 3-level scorer with playmaking skills, into any system changes everything. Now, the Clippers, let's talk more about what this really means for them. This isn't just about adding another scorer. This is about identity. For years now, they've been seen as the other team in LA, living in the Lakers' shadow. Even when Kawhi Leonard and Paul George arrived, even when they had all that depth in 2020, the narrative never fully tilted in their favor. But Beal could be that final piece to push them into the spotlight, not just as contenders, but as legitimate title favorites. Think about what Beal brings: shot creation, mid-range mastery, and off-ball movement. He doesn't need the ball in his hands 90% of the time to be effective. He's someone who can coexist with both Harden and Kawhi. And that's rare. If you watch Beal's game closely, you'll see something that not a lot of casual fans notice. His footwork in isolation situations is elite. He's not just relying on athleticism, he manipulates defenders with timing, with hesitations, with shoulder feints. And then there's his pull-up game, which adds so much pressure to defenses. On a team like the Clippers, where spacing and off-ball movement already exist, Beal's insertion would make them infinitely more unpredictable. You can't trap Harden anymore. You can't shade toward Kawhi. Every possession becomes a guessing game for defenses. Before we continue, we ask that you leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Lakers updates. Moving on. In a surprising turn of events that has set the NBA rumor mill ablaze, the Los Angeles Lakers are reportedly making a bold and lucrative offer for Memphis Grizzlies star Ja Morant. Sources close to the situation suggest that the Lakers are willing to back up their ambitions with a massive financial proposal, signaling their determination to shake up the league and return to championship contention. What's particularly intriguing about this potential deal is that the Lakers might include one of their own key players, Austin Reaves, as part of the trade package. Reaves has emerged as a vital piece in the Lakers roster, earning respect for his versatility, shooting, and defensive efforts. Including him in any negotiation underscores just how serious the Lakers are about acquiring Morant, who has quickly become one of the NBA's brightest young stars. Ja Morant's explosive athleticism, playmaking ability, and leadership have transformed the Grizzlies into a formidable playoff contender. His dynamic style of play, energizes crowds and elevates teammates, making him one of the most coveted young talents in the league. For the Lakers, adding Morant could be a game changer, potentially accelerating their rebuild or retooling process as they seek to reclaim their dominance in a highly competitive Western Conference. On the flip side, trading away Austin Reaves would be a significant gamble for the Lakers. Reaves has proven to be more than just a role player. His clutch performances and steady growth have made him a fan favorite in Los Angeles. Surrendering him might leave a void in the Lakers' depth and chemistry, but the opportunity to land a transcendent talent like Morant might outweigh those concerns. Memphis, meanwhile, faces a tough decision if these rumors hold any weight. Losing Morant would be a seismic shift for the franchise, which has built its identity around his electrifying style and leadership. However, the prospect of acquiring a valuable piece like Reaves, along with a hefty financial incentive, could tempt the Grizzlies front office to at least consider engaging in talks. While nothing is official yet, and both teams remain tight-lipped, this potential blockbuster trade has already generated considerable buzz among fans, analysts, and insiders. If the Lakers truly push forward with this offer, it could reshape the NBA landscape, sparking a wave of reactions and counter-moves across the league. As the offseason unfolds, basketball enthusiasts will be watching closely to see if this surprising rumor materializes into a deal. For now, the prospect of Ja Morant wearing the purple and gold remains an electrifying possibility, one that could redefine the Lakers' future and send shockwaves through the basketball world. Stay informed exclusively about Los Angeles Lakers news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep receiving daily updates. Also, share your opinion on the news in the comments, as your contribution is crucial for the Lakers. Stay tuned for the next video.